In the luxurious salons of the Duc Leblanc's chateau, where chandeliers cast a golden light over the nobles, Victor stood like a solitary figure amid the bustle of high society. His eyes wandered over the elegantly dressed guests, but his heart longed for something more than idle chatter and forced smiles. He moved gracefully among the groups of people, politely greeting those who approached him, but his mind was elsewhere. Victor longed for a true connection, for someone who could understand his soul and fill the emptiness he felt inside. As he watched the couples dancing in the salon, a gentle melancholy washed over him. He longed to find someone who would make him feel the same passion and emotion he saw in the eyes of others. For a moment, he wondered whether true love really existed, or if it was simply a fairy tale invented to comfort lonely hearts. Yet, even in the midst of his doubts, Victor could not ignore the persistent feeling that his soulmate was out there somewhere. He felt as if he were on the verge of an encounter destined to change his life forever, simply waiting for the right moment to happen. With a resigned sigh, Victor decided that he would not give up so easily on his quest for true love. He knew that fate often held unexpected surprises, and he was determined to remain open to all possibilities, even if it meant facing the unknown with courage and determination. Victor's gaze was not drawn to the familiar faces of the nobility, but to a woman named Valérie, whose beauty transcended the boundaries imposed by social status. He watched her from afar, unaware that his heart had already begun to beat faster in her presence. Valérie, with her hair as black as night and eyes that sparkled with brilliant intelligence, seemed like a star among the crowd. He learns, through an informal conversation with one of the castle's servants, that Valérie is the cook's daughter. But that does not stop him from feeling an instant connection with her. For Victor, the social barriers that separated their positions in the castle's hierarchy meant nothing compared to the irresistible attraction he felt for Valérie. Intrigued and determined, Victor decides to get closer to her, ignoring the whispers and disapproving looks that would inevitably accompany his approach if it were discovered by the nobles present. For him, what mattered was the chance to get to know this fascinating woman better, who had the power to capture his attention in a way no one else ever had before. With careful steps, he approaches her, feeling a mix of nervousness and bubbling excitement within him. And when he is finally next to Valérie, he realizes that all the risks and obstacles would be worth it if he only had the chance to win her heart. He is captivated by Valérie's natural beauty and her talent in the kitchen, finding her presence refreshing compared to the superficial conversations of the nobles. As he watches Valérie work in the castle kitchen, he is impressed by her skill and passion in preparing each dish. Her movements are graceful and precise, and the delicious aroma that fills the room only increases his enchantment with her. Victor feels irresistibly drawn not only to Valérie's appearance but also to her authenticity and culinary talent. As she stirs the pots and seasons the food with mastery, he can't help but smile when he notices the look of concentration on her face. To him, nothing is more charming than a woman who knows what she wants and dedicates herself passionately to achieving her goals. Meanwhile, Valérie barely notices Victor's admiring glances, so absorbed is she in her culinary art. She cooks with love, and that love is reflected in every dish she prepares. Even amid the luxury and pomp of the chateau, Valérie maintains her humility and simplicity, which makes her even more attractive in Victor's eyes. Valérie doesn't work at the chateau. She simply helps her mother during important events. Victor, wanting to get closer to Valérie, decides to hire her to work at the chateau. She accepts and feels grateful for the job, as working at the chateau was a wonderful opportunity. Valérie is moved by this opportunity. As she starts her new job, Valérie dedicates herself diligently to her tasks, demonstrating skill and commitment in everything she does. She feels honored to be part of the chateau's team, and her presence brings a new energy to the atmosphere, making it warmer and more vibrant. Victor approaches Valérie, making up excuses to see her more often. He finds reasons to spend more time in the chateau's kitchen, whether by offering his help with banquet preparations or simply by looking for excuses to exchange a few words with her. As the days go by, Valérie's presence becomes the highlight of his day, filling him with joy and excitement. Each encounter with Valérie is like a breath of fresh air amid the pomp and ceremony of the chateau. Their conversations are full of laughter and stories, and Victor finds himself looking forward to learning more about her with each passing day. He admires her strength, determination, and kindness, and can't help but feel deeply drawn to her. As Victor looks for ways to get closer to Valérie, he faces the challenge of keeping his interest hidden from the watchful eyes of high society. He comes up with cleverly crafted excuses to justify his presence in the kitchen, all while carefully concealing his true intention. Although he longs to reveal his feelings for Valérie, he fears the possible repercussions of a romance between someone of his standing and a mere cook. Victor plans to create opportunities to be alone with Valérie. He spends hours thinking of ways to meet her away from the watchful eyes of the nobility, searching for precious moments when they could share intimate conversations and special times together. His plans include secret meetings in the castle gardens, where they could enjoy the beauty of nature and the tranquility of the surroundings without outside interference. Victor imagines romantic walks along the flower-lined paths, holding hands while sharing confidences and dreams for the future. In addition, he plans to surprise her with small gestures of affection, such as carefully chosen gifts or handwritten letters expressing his deepest feelings. Victor hopes that these gestures will show Valérie how much he values and admires her, even though their positions in society keep them separated by seemingly insurmountable barriers. As these plans begin to take shape, Victor feels his heart beat faster with anticipation. He can't wait to see the look of surprise and joy on Valérie's face when she discovers his intentions. And above all, he longs for the moment when he can finally be by her side, free from social conventions and the expectations of high society, simply enjoying each other's company in a world made just for the two of them. Over time, Victor falls more and more in love with Valérie, especially during the preparations for the grand events at the chateau. Every moment shared in the kitchen or in the gardens warms his heart, and he realizes that he can no longer deny his feelings for her. Valérie becomes the center of his thoughts, and he looks forward to being by her side as often as possible. Victor, wanting to be alone with Valérie, asks her to bring his dinner to him in the library. He has trouble containing his impatience as he waits for her arrival, imagining the moment when they will be together again, away from the curious eyes of the chateau. While he waits, he tidies up the library, making sure everything is perfect for the meeting to come. When Valérie finally arrives with a tray full of delicacies, Victor feels his heart leap with joy. He greets her with a warm smile, thanking her for so kindly responding to his request. Valérie smiles back at him, her eyes shining with a mix of shyness and anticipation. While Valérie sets the dinner on the table in front of the comfortable armchairs, Victor watches her with admiration. She seems to glow in the soft candlelight, and he can't help but wonder how he got so lucky to find her. When they are finally alone, Victor gathers his courage and expresses his feelings once again, reminding her how special she is to him. Valérie realizes that she has feelings for Victor too. This epiphany envelops her like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. She reflects on the moments they've shared, the smiles, the deep conversations, and Victor's kind gestures, and realizes that her heart belongs to him. Joy and emotion flood her being as she accepts the truth of her feelings. When Victor affectionately calls her by name, their eyes meet, and she sees in them the same tenderness and admiration that she feels for him. In a magical instant, the barriers that separated them seem to disappear, and Valérie finds herself swept away by an overwhelming wave of love. She smiles, unable to contain the happiness overflowing from her heart. The two kiss passionately and exchange tender gestures. Every touch is an explosion of emotions, every kiss a promise of eternal love. As they embrace, Victor and Valérie feel complete, as if they have finally found what they were searching for. They know that the road ahead may be difficult, but they are determined to walk it together, united by the deep bond they share and the promise of a bright future together. And in this moment of love and union, the world around them seems to disappear, leaving only the two of them together, at the center of a universe made just for them. Victor notices Valérie's inexperience and, with concern, interrupts the intense kisses and caresses, realizing that she has never been with another man before. His heart fills with compassion and tenderness as he realizes Valérie's innocence, and he feels even more determined to protect her and care for her with all the love and respect she deserves. Gently, Victor wraps Valérie in a comforting embrace, giving her all the security and affection she needs at that moment. He looks into her eyes with tenderness, expressing all the love and understanding he feels for her. Valérie, for her part, feels grateful to have someone so kind and understanding by her side, someone who accepts her exactly as she is. In a moment of courage, Valérie confesses to Victor that she is a virgin and has never been in a man's arms. She reveals her deepest feelings, confessing the love she feels for him and her gratitude for having him in her life. Her words are sincere and full of emotion, reflecting the intensity of her feelings and the vulnerability of her heart. Victor listens attentively to Valérie's words, his heart overflowing with emotion. He embraces her with even more tenderness, promising to protect her and love her with all his being. Victor is ecstatic to have his feelings returned. His heart overflows with happiness knowing that Valérie shares his feelings, and he struggles to contain the joy he feels. He looks at her with gratitude and admiration, truly feeling blessed to have her in his life. As Victor and Valérie are enjoying the happiness of the moment, they are interrupted by Victor's mother. She enters the library with a serious expression, breaking the intimacy between the two. Victor and Valérie quickly pull apart, their faces flushing with embarrassment at the sudden interruption. Victor's mother, with a piercing gaze, observes the two of them for a moment before speaking. She expresses her concern about the situation, reminding Victor of his responsibilities as the heir to the Leblanc family and the expectations that high society has of him. Valérie lowers her eyes, feeling as though she is intruding on a world to which she does not belong. Victor, for his part, faces his mother with determination, defending his relationship with Valérie and expressing his conviction that his love for her is true and genuine. He asks his mother to accept Valérie and to give her a chance to prove her worth, promising to do everything in his power to protect her and take care of her. Victor tells his mother that there is no point in not having her approval. He is the master of his own life and he is going to marry Valérie. His eyes reflect determination and courage as he faces his mother with conviction. He expresses his deep respect and love for Valérie, emphasizing that she is the person he wants to spend the rest of his life with, no matter what obstacles stand in their way. Victor's mother is shocked by the firmness of his words, unable to believe that her son is openly defying her instructions. She tries to argue, to plead, and even to threaten, but Victor remains firm in his decision. He knows that he cannot live a life according to someone else's expectations, even if that person is his mother. Victor's mother, on the other hand, struggles with her own conflicting emotions. She wants the best for her son and firmly believes that Valérie is not right for him. However, she also sees how much Victor is in love with her and cannot ignore the happiness she brings into his life. Torn between her duty to her family and her desire to see her son happy, she finds herself at an emotional crossroads. Valérie, watching the scene with a heavy heart, is deeply moved by Victor's courage. She approaches him, holding his hand tenderly, giving him all the strength and support he needs in this difficult moment. She knows that their love is real and that together they are capable of overcoming any obstacle. As Victor's mother leaves the library, Victor and Valérie look at each other with a mix of relief and apprehension. They know they will have many challenges to face, but they are determined to face them together, united by the love they share and the promise of a bright future together. With Valérie's mother's blessing and amid emotional turmoil, Victor and Valérie get married, defying aristocratic conventions. The wedding day is a moment of intense emotion, where the love between them shines brighter than ever. Valérie walks down the aisle with grace, her white dress shining under the sunlight, while Victor waits for her at the altar, his eyes filled with admiration and love. The ceremony is simple but full of meaning. They exchange heartfelt vows, promising each other love, respect, and mutual support for the rest of their lives. When the judge pronounces them husband and wife, a wave of happiness washes over them, and they kiss passionately in front of their loved ones, sealing their commitment to eternal love. Their union symbolizes the triumph of love over social barriers, as they embark on a life together despite society's judgment. They know they will face challenges, but they are determined to confront them together, supporting each other every step of the way. Their love is an inspiration to those around them, showing that true love knows no bounds and can overcome any obstacle life presents. As they celebrate their union at a lively party, Victor and Valérie look to the future with hope and optimism. They know their journey will be filled with ups and downs, but they are confident that as long as they are together, they can overcome anything. And so, they move forward, hand in hand, ready to face the world and build a life full of love, happiness, and unforgettable adventures.